I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this early edition of the Political Spotlight. It's like daylight savings time in reverse. Whoa, we feel young, we feel good, we feel refreshed, we feel like we could go for hours. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the only upstairs basement in all of the world. Deep within Side House 57 here at the Lighthouse Studios. This is the 294th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Producer Kate is at the controls doing what she does, making sure that things run smoothly. You're out there watching either live or via replay, depending on when it is, where it is that you are watching in the world. We want to thank you for your time. We know that your time is valuable, and you could be literally anywhere and everywhere right at this point. So if you're watching, we are very thankful, and we don't ask for anything in return. It doesn't cost you to watch this. It might make you not as cool with the beautiful people, but it will make you infinitely more politically intelligent. We only ask that you do us the simple task of hitting the like button. Make sure that you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. You can do that for free. If you're watching live, communicate in the live chat box with us over there. If you're watching at a later date, comment down in the comment box here. Share the show with everyone you know. Please send me an email or a text message or a Facebook Messenger with your credit card number. Give me your social security number. Please sign the deed over to your homes, your properties. Put us in your will. And name your first daughter after Kate and your first and second son after myself and Brandon. That's all we ask of you. So if you could do those things, we would highly, highly appreciate it. But let's start out with hitting the like button and sharing the show and doing all of that, because that will really help us. So why are we here? Why are we here in the world an hour early? Why are we here an hour early? We are here because nearly almost 6 months ago, I heard a couple of things of interest, a couple of a couple of things that pertain to the city of Muncie, specifically about the way that credit cards were being paid. So a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know that in government, there are credit cards that are just issued to the city, and the various department heads have these credit cards, and they can spend these credit cards. And in some places, there's like a protocol to this, and others, it's a little bit loosey-goosey. And, let me give you an example. When this administration, the Ridenhour administration, first came into power, they were the administration that were on the white horse. They were riding in. They were the good guys. They were going to set the standard of how government should be carried out. None of this corrupt backdoor dealing, none of this giving your friends the benefit jobs and doing all of the things that have been done under the horrible, evil monster Dennis Tyler. And then within like 6 months, the park superintendent had bought 2 or 3 or 4 suits worth like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a piece with his City of Muncie credit card. Whoops. I've heard of a clothing allowance, but my gosh, a $4,000 suit, alligator shoes, I think that might be a little bit much. Now, everything worked like it was supposed to, and the controls were in place. And when the controller's office received that bill, they said, wait a minute. And the park superintendent was asked, and he said, whoops, that credit card looks a lot like my credit card, and I pulled it out by mistake. Let me go take care of this. And he left right then. He went to his bank. He then pulled out the money. I don't know how much total it was, several $1,000s. And he took it and he paid that off. And to my knowledge, that hasn't happened again, at least with him. And I have a source that would pretty much know and tell me if something like that happened. And I haven't heard of anything like that happening. So I got to thinking maybe the city was a little loosey-goosey kind of with what happened. And a friend of mine brought to my attention, because they got to noticing that on the show, we go through the Board of Works meetings once a week, and how commonly the Board of Works just passes these bills. The credit card statements are one of those claims that's paid monthly. And they never talk about it. I've never heard Linda or Captain King of Fun or the lady from Bob's Burgers on the end, Yeah. Yeah. Pause. I'll pause this real quick and say, yeah, I can get GW and Clint in contact. Yeah, I know you both personally. You know me both personally. I can make that happen if you both so choose or want that. It's like a love connection right here, right here on the program. No, but so they routinely just, no question. I've never ever heard Linda be like, wait a minute. I noticed that the chief of police spent $23,000 this month. And so, you know, it was, I've never heard her do that. So this person brought to my attention that they didn't say there was, they just said there might be some irregularities in the credit card statements monthly. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good to know. We might want to check that out. So I issued a record request in April for credit card statements from the City of Muncie. This should be something that I should be able to get easily. Any of you should be able to get it. It is something that's very easy. I am going to pause here one more time and say I think that I'm seeing now it wasn't GW and Clint. It was somebody else. I will go back after this because this is going to be a pretty in-depth long show. But I will go back at the end of this, and whoever's trying to get in contact, I will make it happen. So I don't know who exactly it is, but if there's two of you that are trying to get in contact, we will make it happen. Okay, back to the show. So I issued a record request, and now I've got to tell you, I also reached out to a friend of mine who it doesn't hurt to name this person because I've asked. I reached out to Sarah Beach. You've all heard me talk about her. She watches the program from time to time. I reached out to Sarah because Sarah is the former personnel HR director, human resources director for the City of Muncie. She worked there for 8 years, 2 terms, and was good at her job. Did a pretty good job. By all accounts, really for all of the second term and probably for about half of the first term, for about 6 years, she was the personnel director, but basically she acted in the role of almost like the deputy mayor of the City of Muncie. She was like the second-hand man to a lot of things that happened internally. And yes, she had been interviewed and they talked to the FBI and was not ever accused of anything, was never on their radar, was not a dirty or corrupt person. I would not be connected with someone that was dirty and corrupt. She did her job and did it well. That's just that. I wanted to throw in that caveat. And so she is someone who I had routinely, before we were friends, would request records from. And she never gave me any of the guff that I get from the City of Muncie. And that was even when she and I hated each other. That was even when we did not get along. That was even when I was bad-mouthing, and for a lot of reasons, rightfully so, questioning and calling out Dennis Tyler for random things that he was doing or not doing. But she never hassled me or to my knowledge, anyone else for records requests. She just realized it's part of her job. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So I asked her when I issued this request, how long this should take. And she has said, like she has with many other requests, it would blow your mind if you knew how quick and easy it was. It would be very easy to get your request. These are documents on a computer. Your request comes in. We send it to the controller's office. This could be pulled up on a computer, and if you've asked for 4 months or 6 months or a year or 2 years or whatever, specific names. We press print them out, and voila, there you go. Literally, it would take you longer. It would take me longer to type you the email telling you that they're ready than it would for us to complete the request. So she told me, like, honestly, you should have this request back within a couple of days. With the Ridenour administration, I would say you'll probably have it back sometime next week. I put the request in, and then I didn't get the request for nearly 6 months. To hell with state law, to hell with Indiana code, with what things are supposed to happen and not happen, and the various things that are supposed to go on. They just said, nah, we're not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't know. This was probably one of the craziest fights I've had. I would contact them sometimes once a week. Maybe I would forget about it. I'd contact them, every 2 or 3 weeks. And it was just nothing. They wouldn't email me. Nothing. So I actually had to start getting like shitty about these requests. I'm currently, as we speak, I'm currently here waiting for anywhere between 5 and 6 other requests that they are still stalling me on, just doing the same thing. So I was surprised the other day when I noticed that they told me that I had these 2 requests ready. 2 requests. So I did 1 request. That was the credit card statements. That was the earliest. I asked for that in April. And that, my friends, is these documents here. Then we come along, going along, and we get to the middle of May, and I start hearing some scuttlebutt about a possible retreat that the mayor, Dan Ridenour, and his department heads were going to take. Then it became something that the Ridenour administration, along with the council, was going to do. And so it went back and forth. And I was like, whoa, I need to, what's going on here? So on June 5th, 2024, I issued a record request number 24-Nancy Mary Union, NMU 05 boy, B as in boy, NMU 05B, sent at 3:53 p.m. on the 5th of June, 2024. And what I specifically requested was emails to and from all of the following people: Ridenour, Shireen Wegley, all 9 council members, any and all department heads within the city of Muncie, any and all other employees within the city of Muncie, or contract employees within the city of Muncie, and anyone from the outside that would be responsible for trying to make the retreat happen. So what I was looking for here was the total communications around creating Dan Camp. I wanted to know how much it cost. I wanted to know, the back and forth and the ins and the outs, because I had heard a couple of different things. Now, I will tell you, the other day I showed you the combined amount of pages with this was a ream of computer paper. And with everything that has been going on, I'm going to just flat out tell you, I've been through the email list. I've been from front to back to the email list. And I'm really sad to say that the city of Muncie like basically ripped me off. They in the section of paper that was like this thick, about a third, maybe 2/3 almost, was either duplicate paper, repeat paper, or blank paper. So when they call you up and they tell you, you've got 800 pages ready, and really it's 500 pages with 300 are blanks. It's kind of concerning that they don't catch that when you go through it, because my question is, did I literally just pay for blank copies? Oh, no. No, it's not wasted, because I pulled every one of those blanks out and I put them right in my stack of computer paper. And I will gladly recycle that for the city of Muncie. For all of the things that are duplicates, I simply just mark out the backside and I put it over in another pile where I will use it for scratch paper to take notes on, because I have all sorts of pads and notes and things I take. And so every bit of that will be used, I promise. What's really bothersome is this is a tactic they use to try and get people to stop requesting things. They try to make it expensive for you, or they try to make you, not want to do this.
Well, that's easier when you tell somebody that the pages are worth what they're supposed to cost and don't try to charge them $1 a piece.
Yeah. That's the one thing good with the city, is they don't screw around with that. They are very well aware, and they don't even,
210 pages is $1 a page. Most people would have a heart attack, would never ask for another thing again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah, that's right. You go in there, and then what happens is they're like, they make you think like you can't turn it down. Like, no, you've got, and I'm like, hell, bullshit. But for everybody out there, they can only charge you 10 cents a copy if you're looking for random records, regular records like through City. Not if you're for color, they can ask you a little bit more. And if you're asking for court records, it's a little bit more. But
Stumblefoot, you are correct. You can.
Absolutely.
You are a citizen and you have the right to request a copy of, or to inspect.
That's why
make a copy.
That's why, if for any of you that have ever asked me how to do record request or for record request, I always tell you two things. Number one,
that in your request.
Yeah, I always give everybody a blank copy of my formal request, and my request is something that I worked up with a couple of different attorneys. I've asked a couple of different attorneys, and they've been like, "Yep, this is good." I've also had it gone over with the public access counselor, and he's like, "Yep, you've covered all bases." And so it's something there. But specifically in that request, I say what the Indiana code says. So I give the Indiana code, and then I say, I am requesting permission to access and either receive copies of or inspect. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what saved my butt down in Henry County when I asked for them to get a bunch of body camera footage ready, and then they told me it was going to be like $500. I was like, no, what do you mean? I don't want to take it from your office. I just want to inspect it. And they told me I couldn't do that. And I said, that's what I ask. And you agreed. And it don't matter if you agree or not, you can't not agree. So that's that. Absolutely. Yeah, they can set a tip jar out. Absolutely. So, that's that. So I want to say before we go through these, I would send you a few dollars. So, well, and that that's hilarious. I that's hilarious. I am not a good drawer, a good cartoonist, a good I'm not an artist in that way. My artistic ability comes in music, moreover, and the ability to annoy. Those are my artistic abilities. I've said I'm going to do that for the Kimbrell trial, since they won't let me record because it's Indiana and they don't let you record in court and it's a juvenile deal. That I've thought about going in there with colored pencils and doing these professional stick figures of that idiot. Oh, that would be amazing, Space Cat. I can send you how to get me that stuff if you're interested in passing stuff back and forth. That would be amazing. When you make a records request, do you have to ask for specific records or can you just look? Well, yeah, you have to ask for specific records. You just can't be like, just leave open the filing cabinet and I'm going to go shuffle around over there. You've got to actually ask for specific records, and you've got to be pretty particular. Oh yeah, I'll make that happen, Space Cat. I'll send you how to get that to me if you're interested in doing that. That would be amazing. So, okay, without further ado, the reason we came on early is so we could get through all of this. What I've decided to do is, when we start to look through these records, I'm going to pull up another camera and let you guys be able to see what I'm looking at. I've done this once before when we looked at the campaign documents from the city election in 2023. That's how we did it, and it worked really well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the emails first, then we're going to go through the finance records, and I want to let you guys know, there might not be anything in here that's like a golden, like, aha, corruption. But it's just interesting insight into what is going on, how these people think as far as the emails go, and some things. There were definitely some things in there that made me think, that's interesting. And then with the money, it just goes to show you, and as citizens, it's like maybe we need to ask, man, shouldn't we maybe be putting this shouldn't this be budgeted? Should we maybe not be paying for this with credit card? I mean, keep in mind, all of this is paid with tax dollars. So you have a right and a say on all of this stuff. All right. Before we get there, I definitely, again, want to say that this show is being brought to you live on Thursday, September 26th, 2024. That means we are day number 269 without any kind of communication back from Muncie City Councilor Dale Basham. Dale Basham has not responded to any request for any type of communication in any way in the entire time he's been in office. And we can see that by the fact that we've gone 269 days as of Thursday, the 26th of September, without him answering anything. It's really, really, really bad. Along with that, we are also 40 days away from the general election on Tuesday, November 5th. And on Sunday night, this coming Sunday night show, I'm going to do a little part about national politics. We're going to talk about the election, and we're going to talk about a poll that's recently come out that says that fewer people of faith are voting today than ever before. And there's some other different takeaways from that. And I don't specifically mean in the general election or the primary election or a presidential election versus local election. It just means as a whole. And, while that might make people out there like our friend Jack, not E-Jack, just Jack off Jack, it might make him happy. It's very concerning for those of us that understand that you really have to be someone to be a part of the process to really kind of to take it away until we're all ready to actually do the revolution and do what Thomas Jefferson talked about, because I don't think a lot of people are ready to do that. Hell, people can't even get out to vote. They're definitely not going to start a revolution. So it's an interesting look, and I'm kind of putting this together. I've been looking at this poll, and I listened to Glenn Beck talk about this, and it's something that I think that everybody needs to hear. So if you're not listening, if you're someone that doesn't listen to Beck, which there are a lot of people that don't listen to Beck, then it's something that you would not have heard. And this is definitely something interesting. I was looking at the poll today, and it's nuts. So keep in mind, as of today, we are 40 days away from the election, man. That's 2 sets of 20. I mean, that's really crazy. That is really, 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 really crazy. That also means with today being Thursday, I believe that means we are now 11 days. Yeah, that's right. We are 11 days away from voters registration ending here in the state of Indiana. So if you're interested in registering to vote, you need to do that before 11:59 p.m. on Monday, October 11th. October 7th. 11:59 p.m. on Monday, October 7th. And you can register to vote by going to www.indianavoters.com. That's www.indianavoters. There is an S at the end. Voters.com. Indianavoters.com. 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 It takes you exactly 3 minutes to register. You need to get registered. You need to get ready. You need to get educated, and you need to go and vote. My thinking in this is vote in person on election day. If you can vote in person on election day, that is what you need to do. The next best thing from that would be to vote in person in a satellite office, like in your clerk's office, early if you can't vote on Tuesday, November 5th. If you cannot do that, then do your mail-in ballot. But I wouldn't just rush out to early vote by mail-in ballot unless you just absolutely have to. Vote in person on election day the way that we've been doing for countless years until everything got crazy. So that would be, and vote if you're Republican, vote if you're Democrat, vote if you're an anarchist, vote if you're a libertarian. You can go in and vote all Republican if you want, but don't vote straight party. Go down through and pick all of them. Go down through and vote all Democrats if you want, but don't vote straight party, or all libertarian, but don't vote straight party. Straight party is ridiculous. It is something that we should want to fight and kill and stop on all sides. So, you know it, Clinton Hummel. That's the way to be. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into these here records. And we're going to have to set this system up here. Give me just 1 second momentarily to get in. And we're going to want to make sure that we don't have enter. We don't have echo. Bingo. Check. All right. We've got absolutely no no delay. Okay. Here we go. So there's some interesting things in here we will go through. So your first email here is Patricia Goddard's email. You see her name, you see her up there, and she's telling me that good afternoon, the documents that you have requested, we are prepared, Okay, that's nothing. All right. And here I just made a note for myself. It is what it is. So we're going to take that away. All right. Next up, and this is a document you've seen before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is the invoice from the Potawatomi Inn and Banquet. Okay, you've seen this before. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. The main thing, this is for Dan Camp, yes. The main thing that I want you guys to see here on this first page is that the total here, and the total is for the initial total is just for the meeting spaces. Okay. And I do want to show you here where it says they have $0 for liquor. Okay. They have so that's one thing I was looking for, is to make sure that they weren't getting like crunk up in there, so they have zero liquor consumption. All right. I knew that Linda would be concerned. So $642. This is the only page that I was ever given. And I was like, well, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I don't like this, but if it only costs $642, at the end of the day, that's not awfully bad. Okay. Well, I want to show you then, there is a second page on this that I never received the first time I received it. And there's nothing of interest on this, okay? So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be going through. And so I'm not going to be wasting time on the things that are of no consequence. We're only really going to be focusing on the records that are of interest, okay? So when we pull away from that, I need to put this in place. Okay, we go on to page 3. It's more of the same. One thing again I noticed over here was there was a part for all alcoholic beverages. So the other issue was, I was concerned that maybe they would be bringing it in. The rules from the Potawatomi Inn, because it's a state park, says they could not bring them in, that they could buy the alcoholic beverage package, but they would have to buy it from them. So that's good. And interestingly, it's signed off on here by Shireen Wegley on May 1st. So this is something that they had been working on since like early April, because Dan had been talking about this, and you'll see this in the emails. But it's interesting that Shireen Wegley is doing most of that. I guess it's true. She really does run the city. Okay, Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the actual invoice that is of interest, okay? So this is for everything. This is for that initial $600 for the meeting rooms, I guess. But then this is also the meeting space, PM snacks, dinner buffet, meeting space, breakfast, and AM snacks, lunch buffet, and also apparently the room charge, because over here it's got a charge of 300, 100, 389.70, 659.70, 300, 307, 29, 373, 878, which then comes to a total of it comes to a grand total of $2,985.42. So $2,985.42. That's interesting. For basically coming in at noon on Friday and leaving. I mean, basically, they checked out by noon on Saturday. You know, they were done. So, that's what that is. So that's of interest. I think that's something that's interesting. Okay. And then there's just a breakdown of what they got for those individual costs. Like Friday night was the Mexican Fiesta dinner buffet. We'll see an email in here where Dan is either Dan or Shireen one. I don't know who is talking to the hotel lady, and they're talking about the different items they can get. And he's like, someone's like, I'm ready. I think I'm just about ready to order food now. I'm trying to decide between the chicken buffet or the Mexican fajita feast. I think that sounds the most fun. And it's like, oh my God, like, who says that Mexican Fiesta dinner is like fun? That, like, Dan is just so cringy to me. So yeah, I don't know, whatever. So the next is the form that we've seen before. This is what was actually initially given to me by sources, and this is what originally made Dan mad. Okay, so the first email that we come to, it is listed as at-large 2. You guys might not know that. However, I am aware, and that's why I marked it. At-large 2 is Rose Selvey. This was sent on June 3rd, and it's sent to Shireen Wegley, and she's saying, call today and cancel like they said. You can see in here where Shireen and Ro get rather snappy with each other about this deal. Kind of funny to me. Earlier in the day, Shireen had sent a message to Ro saying, I'm sorry you feel that way. The rooms and food were booked after May 15th deadline for confirmation of attendance. You were actually one of the first who responded right away. Thank you. I don't understand why there's a problem with paying the controller's office. It will actually give the public a paper trail that you have done this. I would think it would be better route to take anyway. But the facts are that the events are already paid for by the time you said you wanted to pay your own way. No changes could be made. All right. So basically what this is, because the other thing is they don't hit the button that they should hit that just prints out the individual emails so they can be easily put in order. What they do is they print them off in the string. So everything is like backwards, and we're basically seeing what someone else responded to someone else before we actually see the response, which is really a dumb way. These people are the only government entity that I've ever seen that issues their public records in this way. Again, I don't know. I don't know if it's just out of stupidity, because you can adjust the setting to print it like this or to print it in an order that makes sense. And doing it this way, it's just one more way to hassle people, I think. It is what it is. All right, so we also see here where Ro tells Shireen, I don't appreciate being put in this position. And so for those of you that are not aware, there was a little bit of back and forth between random counselors and the administration, because of course there was question about there was question about, is this going to be open? Is it not going to be open? Is the public going to be able to be there? Do we know what's going on? Is this legal? Is it not legal? And pretty early on, Rose Selvey made the comment in an email to me, which is public record. Anyone can get it. I've shown it to everyone. Rose said, I don't want to go to this if the taxpayers are paying for it. I'm already paid. This is Ro's thoughts. And this is what, because I had been mad at Ro. And this is what kind of won me back on Ro a little bit. Ro said, I'm already paid for working for the citizens. I'm not going to go to a nice, little cushy getaway on the taxpayer's dime. To me, and she's like, to me, that seems like double dipping. She was like, I'll go if I can pay for my own room. And what she wanted to do was she wanted to go up there. She wanted to book her room there. And she wanted to be able to, have that and be able to put that on her social media and show it to those who ask, email it to me or whoever. And Shireen's like, no, we're not canceling your room. We can't do it. It's already paid. If anything, you can go pay the controller's office. And Selvey's like, no, I'm not doing that. And so that's ultimately why Ro said, all right, screw it, I'm not going. And I give Ro credit for that. Ro, I give credit for that. So we see here's another email from Shireen. Yes, after the cutoff for payment. So either way is fine. I just want you to know that the city will still be paying for your room and food if you choose not to pay the controller's office. So then it was like they were, I don't know what they were doing. They were wanting her to pay or not pay, even if she didn't go. They were telling her that, your room's already been paid for, and we're going to tell people it's your room, nana, nana, boo, boo. It's like, no. That doesn't work. That ain't working. Rose says, like I said before, I told the mayor I was paying my own way. So now it's kind of like Ro told the mayor she's paying her own way. And Shireen's like, but we're doing this. And Ro's like, no, I told the mayor I told your boss I'm doing this. I love it. All right. So here's another message from Shireen to Ro. Room reservations and food cannot be canceled, especially at this time. I can show you the available food if you like. Of course, I assume the restaurant can provide food orders, but the city will still be paying for your room and food. By the time you stated that you wanted to do this, the reservations and payment were already completed. And it's like, dude, I don't believe that if you would have called this place, they couldn't have worked with you. I feel like if you would have called and been like, oh, we're not going. And we'll come back to this in a minute, because they also start offering other people to go when they found out that there were people that couldn't or wouldn't go to this. It's hilarious to me. Yeah, 72-hour cancellation. This was June 3rd. This was 72 hours. She was telling them that as early as the 1st and 2nd of June. So that would have been enough time for them to cancel it. Okay. So that takes us to this, where this is to Shireen from Roe. Says, Shireen, I appreciate the breakdown, but that is not going to work for me. I am going to reserve my own room and I will pay my own food. I am on a diet and I cannot eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I am on a food restriction, so I'm just order myself from the menu. Please cancel my room reservation. I will reserve my own. I am not worried about the room rate. I'm going to pay my own and choose my own room. As I told you before, I spoke with the mayor before and I told him, and I was going on one condition, that I pay my own way. Roe. And you know what? Good on Roe. And I'm also going to say, I've heard a lot of people say that Roe is looking like really good. They can tell that she's like lost weight and done good. I didn't ever think there was an issue. I thought, that's not something I worry about. But hey, Roe, you're doing good. You're a badass. Keep up the good work. Rock on. You know what I mean? Like, Roe's really coming around, and I appreciate her as a council person. You also notice she's one of the ones that's actually up there asking questions and doing things. There's only a few of them that are actually doing that. So good on you, Roe. Here we just get more about the breakdown of the cost of the food. Okay. Let me see here. This is an email about everything being individualized. Okay. Oh, here's an email I wanted to show you that we've seen that I think is interesting. So here's an email from Nancy Himmelkamp, which works at the Fortify Life, the group that was doing this big training. And I want you to see the way she signs her emails. Harmony, consistency, positivity, responsibility. And I bet if we didn't have this in black and white, I bet they would be color-coded to whatever the colors are on that stupid-ass assessment. And I guarantee you that weirdo HR director saw this right here and was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to do that. And it just absolutely floors me. I will tell you, from what I've heard, a lot of trunk shrimp was wasted during this event. And that's why every other Friday, Ridenauer sets up his old Park Avenue out in front of City Hall, and he sells trunk shrimp $5 per pound, or at a good deal of $20 for 3 pounds. So, get it while the deal is good. This is a Muncie deal only. 5 per pound or 20 for 3 pounds, cash only at the trunk shrimp sale out in front of City Hall. So yeah, I bet there was a lot of trunk shrimp wasted. Okay. Another interesting thing here that I want to show you. This email was sent by Sarah Payne to Shireen Wegley. She's one of the facilitator people. And I just, of interest, it just says, thank you for the offer to join you for an overnight stay. However, we have to decline. We have another speaking engagement that day and live close by. So I suspect our own beds will be very welcome sight that night. And I just think it's interesting that this is one of the facilitators of the event from this group, not from the inn, but from the actual group. And by this time, okay, let's see, when was this sent out? By May 29th, they were already getting pushback from counselors who weren't wanting to go. And of course, we heard from Shireen they booked everything like on the 15th. So by this time, they knew they were going to have extra rooms, and they were like trying to give them to other people. Okay. So, just really, really interesting here that they're like trying to give it rooms away to people that tax dollars paid for. What I would have been doing, what I think they should have been doing is for anyone that didn't go for any open rooms that weren't part of the city officials, they needed to be going and getting a refund for, fighting for it, asking for it, at least asking. Don't just be like, oh, well, screw it. We'll see if we can give it away to the homeless man down the street. I mean, hell, I would have been okay if they gave it to the homeless man. Take a Muncie homeless person up there and let him have a room for a night. Bring him back with you. You can ride with Dan. Hey, okay, Space Cat. No big deal. I appreciate it. All right. Next up in the comment, how many were empty? That's a good question. This is from Shireen Wegley to Sarah Payne, okay? And it says, while we're looking at logistics, attached are our vendor forms to be completed. Please, you can send an invoice at the time. We also have an extra room or two that at the inn bought and paid for on June 6th. Wait a minute. What? At the inn bought and paid for on June 6th. So they didn't pay for this? I don't understand that. Why would they have rooms bought and paid for on June 6th, the night before? That's really strange to me. So now I guess my question is, and we never see this come up again, was Ridenhour up there earlier? That's really strange. So my question is, how many rooms were empty? How many rooms in total did they purchase? How many rooms were full? And when is the first night that anybody was there? Their cancellation policy is 31 days or more advance, or you lose the first night's cost. What? 31 days or more? So if you book a room for July, if I book a room for July 26th, 2025, my birthday, I've got to cancel by June 25th. If I cancel on July 1st, I lose money. Okay. Only the reservation holder can cancel or make change to an existing reservation, regardless of the facility type. If reservation is canceled 31 days or more prior to date of arrival, a flat fee of $25 will be assessed. If the reservation is canceled between 1 to 30 days prior to the date of arrival, the first night's rental fee plus all applicable taxes will be assessed. Customer forfeit their entire rental fee. You know, like this is a state. That's weird. No, Ejac. No. No, you didn't. You did not. Well, very strange. That is strange. All right, moving on. There's not much to see here. Let me see here. There's not much to see in the next several. Okay, this is something I don't know what this says here. This is from Michelle Owen. Oh, this is just something interesting I noticed. Michelle Owen, Thursday, May 23rd. Of course, remember Michelle Owen is the former communications director for the City of Muncie. I'm looking forward to our meeting tomorrow. Would you also extend an invite? And I'm not going to show you that full email because it's her home personal email. But it just says, I might be working from home tomorrow and want to make sure that I have access. So when Nora Powell's like, we want to be thankful and we want to be appreciative and respectful of these officials who put in a hard day's work. Look, they're city officials. They come and they go as they want. Sometimes they come in at 9. Sometimes they come in at 10. Sometimes they work from home if they so choose. So, give me a break. All right. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Here's something of interest.
I'm sorry. The department heads are not anyone important. They're people holding a job.
Yeah.
It just happens that they're paid by tax dollars instead of profits or sales or whatever.
Yep.
It's a job.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah. Absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%. Okay. Here's an email sent by Nora Powell, District 2, to Dan Ridenour. And in these emails, I can prove one thing, and this bothers me drastically. Shireen Wegley sometimes responds as Shireen Wegley. She sometimes responds as mayor of Muncie. She sometimes responds as D. Ridenour. So anytime you think that you're talking directly to Dan, who knows if you're actually talking directly to the mayor. I think that's ludicrous. I'm okay with her responding under the generic mayor thing. Like I get that, but he should have an email account that is just him. Sometimes she responds as a clown. Most of the time she responds as a clown. Sometimes she responds as a normal person. Not very frequently. Okay, Nora Powell says, may I have a copy of the itinerary for Friday and Saturday when they become available? May I also have a copy of any minutes that are taken at these sessions? That's interesting. I'm interested to know. I would be interested to know about that. Also, Nora Powell on Saturday, June 1st. I've been asked if this meeting will be live streamed for those who are unable to attend. Okay, interesting. So did they actually ever live stream this event for the other department heads or elected officials? I don't know if I ever got an understanding about that. I was planning to live stream it for all of the council members that didn't go, for all of the citizens that didn't go, but they ejected me from the room like assholes. So, and I don't know. Okay. Here we've got Dan Ridenour, dridenourmuncie.in.gov, sending a message to a whole bunch of people, okay, on Thursday, May 30th. This is very interesting. Dear council members, it was brought to my attention that an email containing questions about the legal implications of a council strategy session was shared with a local blogger on May 28th. The email had originally been written at 7:09 on May 13th. And by 8:47 a.m., I had already responded to this email and addressed the concerns. I am disappointed that this response was also not shared publicly. Hey, pal, you've got a mouth. You've got a social media account. You've had 5 or 6 different communications directors. The council's not responsible for getting your message out. I would like to take this opportunity to reiterate some points with you. Please see Luke Britt, Indiana Public Access Counselor, response below. By the way, it doesn't appear that we will have 5 city council members in attendance, but we what? We have already publicly posted the meeting. If we don't have 5 city council members in attendance, Luke says it's not a public meeting. Well, that's an interesting situation that you're in. You've already publicly posted the meeting.
So publicly post that it's not a public forum anymore.
Yeah,
publicly
right.
Post that.
Don't
leave it up for a week afterwards.
Months. This was sent on May 30th, and they left it up there.
They left it up there.
Yeah.
Take it down and post one up that says, this will not be a public meeting. The council will not be in attendance, and therefore it is no longer a public meeting.
Or allow the public to be there.
Yeah.
That would be a crazy idea.
But don't leave up that it's a public meeting and then not let people in.
Yeah.
If you post that it's a public meeting and leave it posted, it's a public meeting.
Yeah.
Whether you've got 5 council members there or not.
Yeah.
You've publicized it and didn't rescind that publication. You can cancel a meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Meetings get canceled all the time.
Dan said that they could have all of them and it wouldn't be a quorum anyway. So suddenly 5 members is important?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Yeah. Absolutely. That absolutely happened, yes. If we don't have 5 city council members in attendance, Luke says it's not a public meeting. Please note Luke Britt's comments near the end of his email about public notice. If anyone wants to attend and advocate for their district, let us know. We can still accommodate. We would love to learn your thoughts and have you there. Best regards, Dan Ridenauer. All right. So this is from Luke Britt to Shireen. Thank you for reaching out. Here's my official position on retreats, and all of this as predicated on majority of the council attending. Okay. If retreats are held for team building, social events, trainings, orientation, on-site inspections of projects, programming, etc., they are not subject to the open door law. They would not have to be noticed or open to the public. They can be held anywhere. I contacted AIM after we spoke, and they were familiar with the discussion at the mayor's conference. They reported that one of their mayors in attendance does post notice of these types of gatherings just to document the occasion, even though that it is not technically required. It was also made clear that no substantive city business was being discussed. Only the types of materialistic items listed above. I think this would be the best practice. If substantive city business is discussed at a retreat, however, it would be subject to the open door law. In those cases, the retreats would be noticed and open to the public. If that were to be the case, I do not recommend holding it far from your community, as I think it would be an unreasonable burden for local constituents to attend. I think implicit in the notion of openness is relatively practicality in attending. If a majority of the council is not present, it is not subject to the open door law at all. Okay, cool. In the end, the responsibility for compliance falls on the council. It would ultimately be up to them how they would want to navigate these scenarios. I'm going to pass this on to AIM as well to share with their members, both in the executive and legislative branches. You may share this with the council or anyone else as well. But as always, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me. Okay, Luke Britt. Now, what's interesting about this is the thing that I always say, and that Luke Britt is always very clear about. Just because something doesn't have to be public. Just because it doesn't have to be public doesn't mean that it can't be. They could clearly have opened this up. They could clearly have allowed this to be open to the public. No question.
Now,
You know,
here's my question. When was that written? Was it sent before they knew that most of the council wasn't going?
no.
It was written after they knew most of the council would not be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
It just seems like that's important, Kristopher.
I mean, all right, explain what you're saying.
Well, because Dan used that as his excuse for not needing to have it open.
Okay.
But he didn't. He just said, Luke Britt said we don't have to have it as an open meeting.
Yeah.
He didn't explain Luke's thinking, because if he had asked prior to knowing, Luke would have sent the same thing, right?
Yeah.
He would have given the same advice.
Sure.
Dan has a bad habit of picking and choosing what he wants to take out of
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I asked, did he know that they weren't going to have a quorum when he got that from Luke?
May 30th is when they got this from Luke.
And when was the council meeting where they all said, I'm not going?
June 3rd. Let me make sure. Got a calendar right here, I can tell you.
Oh, we got
June
K
3rd.
Mama. He got K Mama over here. He knew a good deal weren't going. But Luke Britt was under the impression they would be, it seems.
Well, when I talked to Luke, Luke said that he had talked to Nora.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew that there were counselors that had issues with this.
Mm-hmm.
Luke said with what he had got from Ridenauer that this should be an open meeting. Or
Okay.
got from Nora, I guess. From what he got from, because when I talked to Luke, Nora had already talked to him. I think it was before Shireen reached out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shireen reached out on the 29th. Yeah, Shireen reached out on the 29th. So
I think we may need to go back through our timeline to see who knew what when.
Yeah.
And what Dan was saying when.
Yeah. Yeah. We can do that. Because you're right. Dan does pick and choose. He is really bad about that.
Yes. And Luke said it wouldn't have to be an open door.
It would not have to be if they were there.
No. He said it wouldn't have to be an open door.
Yeah.
Ignore the ifs.
Yeah.
We cherry pick what we want. It wouldn't have to be an open door.
Yeah.
And we run with it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I think it's an important.
That is good. That is good. That is good. I see what you're saying. That does make sense. Well, when we'll get some of those answers in this, we will get some of those answers in this. So, No. Okay, so Shireen sent it on Thursday, May 30th, and Luke responded on Thursday, May 30th. Okay, so that's what this is. Thank you for talking to me this morning. Oh no, so we don't know. This is her thanking him. So we don't know when she actually asked. It could have been before the 30th. Thank you for talking to me this morning about the City of Muncie's upcoming retreat. I'm glad to hear we are on the right track. Per our conversation, would you please reiterate the requirements for this meeting, which may or may not have a quorum of council? We appreciate it very much. Feel free to reach out if you have anything in the future now that you have my contact. Okay. Here is Shireen Wagley to Nora Powell on May 31st. The meeting is Friday and Saturday, the 7th and 8th. This is another IT problem, sending multiple times. We'll get it stopped. Is it okay? There's Nora sending to her. Is it June 4th or June 7th? May 30th. June 4th, 2024, 9 a.m. So see, Shireen is such a liar. So Shireen, they started sending out please accept this invitation on May 30th. Why were they still sending that to people on May 30th if they had booked the rooms by the 15th? And why are they saying that it's June 4th? So when Nora says, is this June 4th or the 7th? Question mark. Shireen says the meeting is Friday the 7th and 8th. This is another IT problem, sending multiple times. What do you mean? IT literally put in a different date? Bullshit. That's you. You put in a different date and are confusing people, and they're just like, wait, what? That's hilarious. Okay, then we get into a bunch of this where it's from Dan sending, again, here's June 4th. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Grizzly. Yeah. I don't know why they would ever assume that. If there's anything of any value, I'm going to get it. Okay. Here's a duplicate of the email from Dan we've already asked. Okay, here's a duplicate of Luke Britt's email. Okay, all right, now here's interesting. Here's Brandon Garrett on on May 23rd. So here's Brandon Garrett on May 23rd. Okay, and here's he's letting me know. And Nora and Brandon telling me on Thursday, May 23rd, that they're not attending. So they told me on the 23rd of May that they were not attending. So that's 2 of them. Okay. Also on May 23rd, Sarah Gullion tells me that she's not going. So that's 3 of them. And on the 28th, they're still getting invitations. Yeah, right. Now, what's funny, look at this long ass thing. See this? This is my email. This is what they get from me. 1 page. Another page. Another page. Oh, God, we're not done. Another page. And then all of my information. That's hilarious. Okay, here's Shireen to Dan on the 22nd. Here is okay, so Shireen was sending this from Nora sent this to Shireen, and then Shireen sent this to Dan. I will oh no, not Nora, Roe. I will be paying for my lodging and food. Please make a note of that, Roe. On the 22nd, Shireen says 3 of you are confirmed attending and 2 of you have yet to hear from. So on the 22nd, 3 confirmed that they were going. 2 she had not heard from. Ha ha ha, Chief. Sometimes, listen, it's done as punishment. It was also pre-Grammarly too, so we're much better now. But sometimes it's a punitive deal. Okay, here we are. Let's see. As we were putting together the agenda, I will send out any information to help you prepare. So this email is concerning extra street paving funds. The street department is able to stretch paving funds further this year due to some unexpected utility work. So while we are at this workshop, we will go ahead and utilize your input to come to a consensus on what and where will benefit these unexpected funds. So you might give some thought of paving you would like to see. Now it's not millions, but we'll add a project or 2. All right. Good there. Okay. Let's see here. All right. This is where we're getting into when they first reached out. And they're reaching out to the people from the Dan camp, actually. Okay. So this is the lady from Dan camp, the Potawatomi Inn, reaching out to them and talking about what they need to do. Of course, we've already went over the invoice. There's nothing major in any of this. This is interesting. Okay. This is from Mayor. So I don't know if this is actually from Ridenauer or from Shireen. I don't really know, because I could see them both being weird like this. Okay, I'm kind of ready to order dinner. I'm torn. Have you had these meals? I love the fried chicken Heartland buffet, but also
go back and reread that.
What?
Go back and reread that. I've had the what?
Uh-oh. I love the friend chicken. I didn't even see it. I love the friend chicken Heartland buffet, but also the Mexican fiesta sounds more laid back and fun. Do you recommend either one? Like fun, I mean, who's writing that? Like I literally could make the argument for that being either Shireen or Dan. Like it seems like a woman writing it to me. But again, to me, that means it could be Shireen or Dan. Yeah. Ah, I love it. Okay. Moving on. There's not much here. There's not much here. Hey, if you can, Chief Muncie, stay here. We're getting ready to go over some credit card payments. Okay. Here's Mayor Ridenauer. So again, it could be him exactly, or it could be Shireen. Monday, April 29th. And the big thing in here is, additionally, I have attended many conferences there, so I'm very excited to be coming back. Do you happen to have 3 of the walkout patio rooms available? Or even all of that row facing the lake of the patio rooms? I know they are probably more money, but would love to have those for our mayor. Okay, so this is Shireen, deputy mayor, etc. Like, yeah, right. Like seriously, dude, this is tax dollars we're talking about here. We can go ahead and spend more money. You know, I think that's nuts. Oh, it says Shireen. See, I don't think Shireen should be sending crap. She gets away with too much. Okay, so then this goes into repetitive mode here. I'm gonna put this down for a second here and find out what's important here. Okay, here's an email. Here's one. I see you're not able to make it the 7th and 8th. Is this something that Jeff could attend in your place? Can you see if he's available? We really think that most of the questions from the council will be for IT and the streets department. You lucky guys. She's writing one of the IT guys. That's Shireen. Here is something. Here is interesting. Okay, I'll show you this one. Here is an email from Marlene Mitchell, who does not work there. Well, she retired, but then they brought her back to help with the record request, but I think she's gone again. On May 20th, Shireen sends back to Marlene, all city council members were invited. All department heads were invited. Well, okay, that's interesting. Marlene sent an email to Shireen saying, here is a request regarding the city council retreat. I am denying the email part because there are not enough information to pull from. What in the hell, Marlene? Okay. All right. So, an email from Josh Talby. Josh Talby, the animal control guy, says that he was going. Then Jerry Dishman and Dan Burford Oh no, okay. Dan Burford sent back a response asking about repeated emails being sent. Shireen tells him that emails are repeating. Okay. Moving along. Okay. Oh, so it's Shireen's idea to go to Angola. Now we know. Looking forward to coming back to Angola as I used to attend conferences there every year. Shireen Wegley. So this was Shireen's idea. Well, that's good. There's duplicates, duplicate, 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 duplicate. We're almost through the emails, folks. Okay. Here's all right. Here's May 10th, Friday, May 10th. Sarah Gullion let Dan know my sister and niece from Arizona will be in town that weekend, so I don't see how I can make it. I am curious how this is being paid by the city, though. What fund is covering it? Thank you, Sarah Gullion. And that was on Friday, May 10th. Shireen Wegley sends back to Sarah, that's too bad that you were unable to make it. Many other cities and towns have these types of strategy sessions and have found a lot of success in them. The mayor is paying from edit. Being at a state park, the cost is surprisingly low. Okay. Here we go. Here's interesting. This is sent from the mayor to all of the there's from the mayor to the city attorneys, all of the city attorneys. Well, Shireen under the mayor's heading. Hello, all. As I think at least Ben is aware, the administration has set up a working retreat for 2 days in June. All department heads and all council members will hopefully attend. Do we need to do anything? Sorry. Do we need to do anything about public notice to keep it legal? They told her to reach out to Luke Britt. My question is, what are they paying the attorneys for? For real, what are they paying the attorneys for? Okay. We're almost through these. Then we'll be on to the credit cards. Stay with us, folks. Oh, there's an interesting email coming up here. You'll want to see it. Here are the city attorneys. Oh, they privately invited Irvin, Mark Irvin. Mark Irvin said that he couldn't go because he was the MC at a dance competition. Here's an interesting email. Tell me what the hell this is. See this email here? I'm going to try to make it to where it's better visible for you. Hold on. Okay. They've shrank this email. It's shrank. No, hell, this is not size font. Look at this. Look at how it is on the paper. All right. They had to have done this on purpose. And I got to thinking, like, why? I'm going to send you something, Kate. Can you put up in the overlays? I don't know. Just try to put those 3 things up and see what you can do. So we'll come back to that here in a second. We're going to get to that, the lover one. All right. While she's doing that, here is the email from Nora. Okay. Thank you so much for the invitation. I think sitting down together to share concerns and hopes of those within our district is incredibly important. I won't be able to attend the retreat next month, but I will be touching base with the neighborhood association presidents to share with you and the department heads so that it can be considered for inclusion for the city's 5-year plan. I hope the retreat is productive. I look forward to any information the administration and my fellow council persons would be willing to share. Nora. Then Dan says, I was out of the office Friday, so I just now saw this. This will be a public meeting. And he sent this on May 13th. This will be a public meeting. That is how other cities have done this. It was presented as a successful best practice method at the Mayor's Institute by AIM. We will post the event at City Hall and at the site. AIM Legal concurred it was proper. Okay, cool. It was proper. It has been found that sites just out of town work best. Those sites benefit discussion levels and therefore results for our residents. This is an opportunity for council members to bring goals and hopes for their districts and the administration and department heads. Within my discussion with Councilman Dishman, City Council President, earlier this month, this retreat allows us to set with the council opportunities to budget, plan, and include in the various 5-year plans. During our discussion, one item Jerry shared was a desire from the neighbors to have a path around Cowing Park. This is good information that would be shared with the administration, but also the park superintendent, so that it gets placed in the five-year plan and is the exact type of feedback we want to do. We want to do great things together for our residents. Having those items being placed on the parks plan allows for those for grant funding. If an item is not in the parks plan, we won't qualify for grant funding. We recently received $266,000 in grant funds for a trail at Prairie Creek. This is part of the plan. Until Jerry and I talked, I was not aware of the neighbor's hopes. You think maybe you think maybe if Dan would actually talk to the citizens rather than hide himself away from them, he would learn this shit? Let me tell you something. This is something exactly that Dennis Tyler would have known. He would have known about this thing at Cowing Park. All right. So this is all a bunch of horse shit. All right. So he goes on, he talks about how they have to do the state park because they couldn't get a hotel. And, this was just the closest, best place to go. Yeah, right. Maybe he should go to some neighborhood meetings and hold his Dream with Dan's like he said he was going to. Now they only have a Dream with Dan once every quarter. It's more like a nightmare. All right, here is something interesting from Nora to, right. And I've got something for you, Chief Muncie, that I want that you need to hear. I need to talk to you after this. Dream with Dab. Mayor, thank you for an invitation. This is Nora to Dan. Strategic planning, team building, and increased communication between the administration and city council have benefits, not only for us, but for our entire community. However, I am concerned a weekend retreat to the Pokagon State Park Inn will not be received well by the public. Those I've spoken with have questioned this use of city resources. More importantly, if more than 4 counselors attend, it's my concern that discussing strategic plans or current projects could violate Indiana open door law. As Shireen once said in an email, it could imply impropriety in the future. Have you considered hosting this retreat locally? There are several locations available to us at no cost or for a minimal fee. This would allow the city to support local catering businesses as well. Participation would most likely increase because those unable to commit to an entire weekend away would be able to attend some breakout sessions scheduled throughout the weekend. By offering the same sessions that address council-specific issues at multiple times, you would eliminate potential issue with Indiana open door laws. I appreciate your creating opportunities to increase communication within the city government. I want us to work together for a better Muncie. However, I will need clarification for these concerns I've expressed. So that's what Nora sent him that got him all fired up. Okay. Let's see here. Then she tells him that she won't be able to attend. He lets her know that he's going to do this every year. So we can fight this every year, which is going to be great. Okay, here are duplicates. Then there were a lot of emails like this that just simply said, from Dan to Dan. And well, this one says we have family coming in, but a lot of them says, please accept on this invitation. That's all it says. There are several emails. Now, I want to go back to this one very, very, very small email. I want to show you what I was able to get it to blow up to be. Here's what it blew up to be. Dan Ridenour, Muncie, his Muncie email address to Dan, subject, accepted administration council department head request, invite, administration council department head retreat. Sherry Ridenour has accepted this invitation. That's weird. Attachments. Invite docs. Please accept on this invitation when Friday, June 7th, 3 p.m., Saturday, June 8th, 2024, 3 p.m., Eastern Time, New York. Location. Organizer, D. Ridenour. Guests, Sherry Ridenour, Dan Burford, City Council, Department Heads, Ben Freeman. I can't see who that next name is. Adam Leach, At Large 1-2, Jerry Dishman, Josh Talby, Michelle Owen, Patricia Goddard, Troy Waters, Yvonne Thompson, Craig Wright, Donnie Wright, Richard Ivy. View all guest info. So this is what they had shrunk in that really small ass email, which was just very strange. I don't know what the point of that would have been. Okay, let me go through these duplicates here. I think the rest of them are just duplicates. They're of nothing of any importance. Let me get to the bottom one here. Yeah, all of these were just duplicates. Okay, here's the one last email that I am just perplexed about. I am just absolutely perplexed about. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to do this for a second. Tell me what the hell that is. Tell me what that is. No. Her email list, her email is listed in here as earthsept@gmail.com. I actually saw it in there. I've got an email to her, and I won't tell you exactly what it is, but it's something like tree huggerish. Or Mr. Yeah, man. This is a mystery. I don't know who lover one is. If anybody out there can tell me, I'm going to send this. I'm going to send a picture of this to the administration and ask them if they can confirm who lover one is. Anybody out there watching, if you know who lover one is, I'm dying to know. Okay, so that, ladies and gentlemen, was the email. The email crap. Okay. Now. Oh no. Oh, I'll have to find it. I'll have to find it again. All right. Now, the next grouping of emails that we've got to go through, or not grouping of emails. Here are our go straight to the nut cutting and send the email to Dan's wife. That's hilarious, Alva. I think it was Alva that said that. Let me get back to the things. Yeah, it was Alva that said that. I don't know. Yeah, that's really good. I was talking with my mother, and we were like, it's like the person's name. It's going to be normal. It's going to be like some consultant that works for the city, and their name is like Lee Over. His name's Lee Over. Or Linda Over. Okay. So here are our credit card statements. Okay. These are credit card statements for the City of Muncie. And it's pretty simple. All right. I'm just going to go through some of the main ones of these here so that you can get an understanding of what we've got, because I didn't fully get to go through these, and we're already coming up to 2 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of these, show you what we've got, kind of tell you where we're going with this, and then look, because I want to spend some time. I definitely want to spend some time with this. But these are kind of some of the things, folks, that I'm telling you about that, like I said, this is, maybe there's nothing wrong happening here, but this is still items that are being paid that there's very little oversight for. And when the city police chief is making the amount of money that he makes a year, and their budget is the amount of money that it is a year, and there's a lot of pushback and they can't cut anything here or there, and then we've got a police chief that's spending $23,000 a month in credit card payments. That's something's funky there. All right. So what I ask for in these credit cards, in with this, what I asked for was the credit card for several department heads, and we'll go through those department heads as I read them. And basically, so this first one, I started in January of 2023, and I came forward. So this first statement is December 2022 through December 23rd, 2022 through January 23rd, 2023. All right. And so it has, what you'll see on here is it's star. Okay. And it has, this is the January 2023. Okay. It has Dan Ridenauer, Nathan Sloan, Steve Selvey, Dustin Clark, and it basically goes like that. So, Dan's for that month was $277. Okay, no big deal. Sloan's for that month was $5,338.50. Absolutely. Yeah. There's a couple things there there's a couple things on here, Chief Muncie, that definitely we will be doing that. So let me just go and show you what Chief Sloan is spending in this month. So we've got, Jimmy John's at $145. Okay, so he's paying for a bunch of, I don't know who he's paying for. Jimmy John's at $145. It seems like quite a bit, but maybe it's training or something. But, we've got Amazon. All right. Kate and I looked up some of these. Like this is like a police thing, obviously $234, $234. Okay. What is Chief Muncie? The Amazon or the Jimmy John's? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right there. All right. Well, keep looking because there's a lot here. I'm going to bring this to your house, Chief Muncie, and let you look through these if you want. I think you'd be interested in this. So PayPal, Progressive, Lowe's, interesting things here. All right. Then compared to Steve Selvey.
I still don't understand that Progressive one.
Yeah.
I don't understand, because Progressive is auto insurance.
Right.
Car insurance should be in the budget.
Well, yeah, it's not something he would be paying.
Right.
I mean, he wouldn't be paying it for his own. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, so, for the Amazons, for all of these, we're just going to have to get the receipts on.
And he's attached the city's credit card to a PayPal?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what the PayPal thing would be.
That bothers me too.
Yeah. Up here is, well, here in a minute we'll see for PayPal. Yeah, right there, PayPal, Progressive. Okay. Steve Selvey, 700.
Second to last charge on there.
Is what?
It's asking about the second to last charge, the one above the PayPal.
Okay. Exec ad dep.
Advance, ADV, DEP.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh,
What?
sorry. Can you give me the phone number?
855-275-5733, Nevada. Steve Selvey, $654.93 at Staples.
Found it.
What is it?
It is. Damn it. Ads popping up all the time. This is a charge for an advance deposit for a reservation at MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Holy shit. Okay. There it is.
Okay, so $212 being put down as an advance for the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Okay, Dustin Clark, this is just on the first page. This is Rich Oil, $44. All right, next page. Dustin Clark, Thomas Business, Staples, Menards, Lowe's, $547.96. Yeah, right. I don't know when that SHOT Show was in 2022 into 2023. I can't recall. All right. Micah Wilson, she's no longer there. She spent, that all stuff looks normal. I don't really know what she would be spending. I mean, it's only $4. I don't know what she'd be spending at Oxley. That's weird. Carl Malone, $97. Gilman Home Center. That stuff looks normal. Here's Donnie Wright, Tractor Supply, Best Buy. $639. Okay, that's weird that she's buying water. I don't know what that would be. Here's Robert Mead. Here's businessapple.com. Okay. 5662. Okay. Here's the next month. Here's Ridenhour. All right. Total is $935, and his expenditures are, Spirit to Go, iPark, Marathon Petrol, Shell Oil, Gerard's Tavern, Bowling Green, Kentucky. There's the Hyatt Centric Memphis. That's probably when he's being taken advantage of. Embassy Suites, 220. I mean, this looks to be pretty standard mayoral crap. Okay. Yeah, well, remember he went down there and did all that stuff when he was taking that tour and trying to get taken by those guys who were con men. All right. Now look here. Spirit to Go is a plane, I think. Is an airplane. Look at this. Yeah, that was the Michaels deal. So that could very easily have been the SHOT Show. Hold on, let's go back and look. Yeah. It was paid on January 18th. So I don't know. Very strange. All right. So this is Sloan in basically January 24th to February 22nd, 2023. Now look at what all he's doing here. PayPal returns on a city credit card. Merchandise service return. That's Progressive and National Insurance. Okay. Now, we've got purchase and other debts. All right. Here's Indian Association, Charge Tech. Okay. Pan Am, Crown Plaza, Embassy Suites, Kissimmee, Florida, Holiday Inn Express, Jack's Donuts, that tracks, Charge Tech. Amazon, 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 eBay, Amazon, Event Taser. Now we've got some going from Indianapolis to Phoenix. It looks like 3 or 4 different tickets to flying out. Holiday Inn Express, Seymour, Indiana. Yeah, eBay. Absolutely. Now, this is continued on the next page. And this month, the good chief racked up $23,292.53. I mean, listen, that's a salary. A shitty salary, but it's Sloan from the end of January to the end of February 2023 put $23,000 on a credit card. Here look here we've got Sheridan, 2 different rooms at Sheridan, Arizona for $1,121.20. I guess just the question I have is, should some of this stuff be in the budget and not be being paid by credit card?
Go down. That ENA chapter 448.
Yeah.
That one's weird.
Yeah.
Because that is the East Central Indiana what's it called? Emergency Nurses Association.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's like some kind of not like a union, but kind of like a union. Kind of like a
FOP
group,
maybe.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a union, but yeah, like an association for nurses, which is what we looked up the other night.
I don't understand why that's on there.
Yeah.
Do they have any nurses in the police?
I'm sure they would, but they wouldn't be paying for them for anything.
Huh?
I'm sure there might be somebody that went maybe to nursing school or something, but they wouldn't be paying for them for anything. Nothing like what you're asking. No.
Oh, okay. I mean,
No.
I know that they're, able to give like Narcan and,
Yeah,
like
no, nothing like that. No, nothing like what you're asking. No. There would be nothing.
I don't understand that one on there. And that's, $477.
$477 that he paid.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, what is that? But again, keep in mind, the total for just 1 month is $23,000. Okay? That's compared to $49 by Steve Selvey. Okay, let's look here at. Yeah. No, you don't have to be a nurse to give Narcan. She was just saying. Dustin Clark here, Menards, Lowe's, Target, New Book, Cloud, Specialty Tree, Staples, Speedway, Menards, Lowe's. You know, those are probably legit, but who knows? Like, I'm sure it's fine. This isn't paying Dustin Clark. This is a credit card that Dustin Clark is spending money on, and they're paying the credit card for him. So this is, $2,000. All right, it is what it is. $15 for Micah. Okay, what is this? Craig Wright. SQ Foster Fire and Security Muncie, 7,000. Here's what's interesting to me. Here is the controller. What's the controller putting $7,612.16 on a credit card for? When you say isn't Dustin only over at the res? I mean, the res is a fully functioning thing, so like he would have to do stuff. Like I don't have a problem with him having a credit card. I just have a problem with what he would be putting on it. Okay, Chief Muncie, that could be right. You could be, and I get what you're saying there, GW. I definitely get what you're saying. Okay, here's Karl Malone. That's right. See, this is what I was getting at last night when I was talking about that. Absolutely. That's what I was getting at last night when I kept saying he is being, he can be, cocky all he wants, but when he goes out and he spends $10,000 on a credit card, that's getting paid for by tax dollars. Absolutely. So, all right, Karl Malone, Muncie Rule King, other credits, that's a return, $3,000. Muncie Rule King, $3. All right, so that he balanced out to $0. Donnie Wright, $158. Robert Mead, the old fire chief. CPR cell phone rep, Muncie, $251. That all looks legitimate. Here's Dan Ridenauer, Indiana Association, iPark, Amazon, Rich Oil, Apple, Speedway. If you want to go through this really in depth, once this is over, pause this and look at it. While there's several charges there, they're all relatively low. I mean, it came to $1,243. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd be interested to know how much like Dennis Tyler put on a credit card, or Dan Cannon put on a credit card. Like, I don't know. Amazon. Man, he sure goes to a lot of hotels for being the mayor of Muncie. He's sure gone a lot. All right. Oh, look, here's another long ass list for Sloan. All right. Kroger, $23.96. Suppressor tools. All right, that makes sense. EB, NAMI, Indianapolis, 20th. $1,000 there. Amazon, Jimmy John's, $73 to Jimmy John's. $50 Papa John's, $300 to Walmart, $400 to Amazon Bill, Radiotronics, $297. Absolutely right, y'all. Look, Dollar Tree, $7. I mean, this is crazy. He spent $7.50 in Dollar Tree. What did he do? Buy the place out? So a grand total of $3,946. Like every month, this dude is spending. He's spending and spending and spending every month. Like, it's not like, I mean, like, look. Maybe you spend $3,000 one month because you're the chief of police and something's happening. Maybe something happens and something's legitimate and you spend $23,000 in a month. Like, that seems nuts to me. That seems crazy to me. How many of you out there are spending $23,000 a month in credit card expenditures? So I get it. Maybe something come up, but to spend $23,000 and then $5,000 and then $3,000 and then $11,000, it's just like every month it's something. So my question is, and it might be beneficial if the council could be asked this during, I don't know, the finance committee meetings they're having, but because Nora is the president of the finance committee rather than Jeff Robinson, we're not allowed to ask questions. So, as I'm sure Chief Muncie, I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is something we've been talking about in the last couple of days. The finance committee meetings are currently going on. One went on Tuesday, one went on Wednesday. There's none today, and then one goes on Friday. In Powell's infinite wisdom, she moved the finance committees, instead of being at 6:30 when Jeff Robinson held them for 3 years, she's moved them back to 5:15 p.m. And instead of giving citizens a chance to speak at the end like Jeff did, Nora's saying, nope, no speak. Now, it is what it is. Citizens don't have, they don't have to give us a right to speak, but it is what it is. Yeah. In his defense, not all people are running departments of more than 100 employees. Absolutely. You're exactly correct. Just like you said, it is high. Dustin Clark, $6,000. He's got Staples, Lowe's, Marathon, UPS, Target, Vistaprint. He keeps paying this thing for New Book Cloud. I don't know what that nonsense is. New Book Cloud. And what's interesting is you guys keep asking about the credit card limit. Dustin's got a credit card limit of $5,000. Oh, he does? That's interesting. What's Nate Sloan's credit card limit? Oh, Sloan's credit card limit is $20,000? That's interesting.
Number one, how did he exceed his limit by almost $4,000?
Yeah, right.
In 1 month. Number two, to answer your question, newbook.cloud is a property management software for bookings.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense for Prairie Creek to have something to help with, bookings and things like that.
Okay.
So That one looks okay.
Okay. Well, that's good then. What's interesting to me is he's got a credit card limit of $20,000. Dan has a credit card limit of $10,000. Interesting. Okay. Micah. Here's Adam Leach. Well, at this time he was a full-time city employee. Okay, he was, but we'll see how much longer this lasts for, because he's not even a city employee anymore. That is a problem with the controllers if these department heads are exceeding their credit card limits. I will find that out. I will ask that when I find out if they're exceeding that every, frequently. We will look at that. Okay. Here's Gretchen Cheeseman. That stuff all looks normal. Here's March 23. Oh, hold on here. Let me pull this up here real quick. I actually have what I'm specifically looking for over here. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Where are we at here? This is the month of March. Okay. So, right now, 974.83. See what he's spending his money on. Okay. Here we've got Sloan. Here he's getting returns, for 2260, 64.89. Okay. Yeah, so here is all of these charges will be deducted from the department. Wait, go back to that. All of these charges will be deducted from the department head budget and from their specific line items based on the receipts. Okay, so it does. All right. So these aren't being. Okay. That makes me happy then to know that. Yeah, right, Alva. Okay, here's Sloan. McAllister's Deli, $211.23. Hilton Hotel, $526.64. $660.80. Yeah, a lot of money spent at Walmart. A lot of money spent at Amazon. I'd like to buy a Vortec optic for $3,000. I'd like him to buy me I'd like that. Okay, Dustin Clark, $770. Michael Wilson, $600. Here's Craig Wright with 3,000. Carl Malone with 1,500. Here's Ridenhour for $14.90. All right. Here's Sloan for $11,840. Here's Sloan. McAllister's 193 cents. $740. Indiana Online Services eGov. RayAllen.com. You know it. There's some airline tickets, 602.46, 602.46. Wingate by Wyndham, Plainfield, $717. You know. Hampton Inns, 112. You know, look at this.
Airbnb.
Yeah, what's Airbnb, man?
They already have hotel rooms
Yeah,
at 2 different hotels.
an
Plus
Airbnb for $1,000.
And the Hampton Inn's $800. So's
Yeah.
the Wyndham.
Yeah.
There's another Wyndham. They stay at really nice hotels.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely. Yeah. It is really nice. Okay, that's good to know there, Chief. Yeah, that's what comes next. After I got these and was able to confirm this, then now I have to go in and get the itemized receipts. Okay, here's Dustin Clark. Airbnb. Why is he staying in an Airbnb in California? I mean, why is Dustin Clark
Read me that whole line, hon.
Airbnb, Henry, Mary, Adam, John, Boy, John, Charles, Sam, Zebra, 3.
Thank you.
Airbnb.com, California.
See if it comes up. I can find. It seems to me like that would be like their code for the property. I'll look.
And while Kate's doing that, I will look this up. Oh, Cabela's. Cabela's. It's a yeah. That's what that is. Who knows? That's good. Good question there. Good question. So this is Dustin Clark. And Dustin Clark spent, well, he spent, nearly $1,800 at Cabela's. I bet it was something. I bet it was a new Green Goblin golf out. Oh, I thought you said a golf outfit, a Green Goblin golf outfit. Because that would make sense. Or he got some boating wear, because I know he belongs to a boat club, boat night, boat boys, boat bourbons, boat bourbon dicks, and I don't know, something. He wouldn't need ammo. Well, no, let me take that back. Everybody needs ammo, but he wouldn't need ammo as paid for by the City of Muncie. He better not. Did he buy ammo? He better not have. Well, no, no shit. The city better not be purchasing him clothing. Yeah, absolutely. That was a joke. You tuned in late. We talked about the clothing. We talked about Karl Malone's clothing earlier.
Sporting goods.
Yeah.
My husband works at Trigger Outdoor Sports.
There's a lot of different things that could be.
So my brain goes ammunition.
Oh.
So it was just a weird word association in my head. It made sense. I know it doesn't make sense for Dustin Clark to be buying ammo.
Oh, yeah.
It's just my brain.
Yeah.
Airbnb's headquarters is out of California. It's in San Francisco. So the bill is going to show the headquarters address probably, not the actual location. When I punch in that number after it, it's not giving me a specific property. But when I just punch in the number and do a Google search on it, one of the things that does pop up is Airbnb in Vincennes.
Okay, that's weird.
And to do a search for properties from Airbnb in Vincennes. So
interesting. Okay.
I don't know, but it's probably not an Airbnb in California is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. No, this one's Karl Malone. We skipped to Karl Malone now. Karl Malone's the one that bought something from Dick's. And maybe that makes sense. But he also got some shit from Amazon, ISA, Party City, Walmart, Big Bounce. Donnie Wright, Best Buy, Chili's Grill and Bar, Lafayette. He could be buying kids sporting. That would be all right. Here's Robert Mead, 1,674.49. He's the old fire chief. That's what he was spending on. That's April. Okay. So that's interesting there, Chief. That's interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm gonna put you down over here. I'll show you if there's anything of interest. I will pull you back on, but I'm just gonna go through these, or else it'll take all night because we've got years worth. So let me walk you through here and tell you this, and I'll walk you through kind of what we've got going on here. So at this point, I'm just going to spend the rest of the time looking only at. I'm going to look at Dan's, and I'm going to look at Sloan's, and I'm going to look at Dustin's, because I'm going to just tell you secretly, those are the three guys that I pulled this for. I didn't care about Steve Selvey. I just wanted to throw a couple of other names in there just to kind of, so they didn't know exactly who I was looking for. So in May, the end of May 23 to the end of June 23, Sloan spent $2,174.22. He spent money at Thermaprint, U-Haul Moving, Hobby Lobby, Menards, BMV, Complete Comfort, Lowe's, Amazon, Lit Lounge, Amazon. Dustin Clark, he had a 7,600.
I know you're off screen. City should not be paying tax on any of these items. I'm not clear how they are ordering from Amazon and not paying tax.
Yeah.
GW thinks you're giving them too much credit.
Meaning what I mean? Meaning that they're not paying tax, or they are paying tax?
No, you're really giving them the benefit of the doubt on some of these purchases.
Oh, sure. Yeah, right. I agree with that. I absolutely. Yeah.
He's saying you need to be meaner.
Yeah, I want to know all this shit. I want to know what exactly what's going on here. I think that there's a good chunk of this. I don't think we're finding anything like, oh my God, they're paying for their mistress's bills. But there are definitely some things that I have questions about. And so this is like a police investigation. This is like a police investigation. When you think something, you gotta look for all the evidence, and you can't assume something and let the evidence take you there. You got to look through everything and let it take you where it takes you. So the first thing I needed was to get this stuff. Now that I've got this stuff, now our team can look at it and be like, ooh, we think this is questionable, this is questionable, this is questionable. We need to get these receipts, and request that and go through and fight for that. Fight for that. So it will all come out. It might take a year because, like I said, I requested this stuff in April and we're just now getting it. You know what I mean? But as soon as we get through all this, I just got this 2 days ago. So the moment we have a chance to sit down and say, all right, I need this stuff, you better bet your ass I'll be sending them another request saying I want to see all this shit. Okay. When did Adam Leach go from being a full-time employee to part-time employee, contract employee? Is Space Cat here? I feel like Space Cat will know that. Yeah, Chief Muncie. I think that that would be right. It would make sense for them to do that. But it's like everything's a big problem. Although, Alva, May of this year or May of last year? Because I think that sounds right, Alva, but my question is what Chief Muncie just asked. So May of last year. So let me do this. I thought it was last year. I could be wrong. I'm 1,000 miles away. That's not a good enough excuse. Yeah, I'll work on that too, GW, because that I agree that is important. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Adam Leach contract. Okay, breaking news. Oh no. If I have it here in my little handy. Has Dan purchased any baby oil? Not that I know of. Not yet, but it's always, we're always, and Adam Leach. Okay, so it was definitely last year. Okay, so we know it was definitely last year. Stand by 1 second. We'll see. We'll look at it this way. Okay, that was Brian Stevens Hotop. Okay. Okay, that's Brian Stevens Hotop. Okay. Okay. So it looks as if and I hate Facebook. Okay, I can't find it. We'll just go with mid last year. That'll be the main point. So my thing is I want to see how much money he spends after that part. After that point. All right, so we're into June. June of last year. Okay, this is nice to know. June of last year, a contract employee. Uh-oh. They've left part of it off. They didn't give me page. They didn't give me page 4 of 7. So I can't see how much Adam spent here. I don't get to see that. That's a problem. Okay. That's a problem. Nate Sloan in June spent $9,930.70. Okay. All right, here's July. Okay. Adam Leach spent $200 as a contract employee. Do you think, City of Muncie, that as a contract employee, Adam Leach should have a credit card? Okay. Looks like Adam Leach accepted a new job on April 1st, 20. Yes. Yeah. You think that's iffy? I don't think he should. I think that's nuts. Okay. Here he spent Nate Sloan spends $800 at Amazon, $293 at Jimmy John's. Hey, Kate, can you come up here for a second?
Yeah.
I have got to go use the little boy's room. 1 second.
Oh, goody. April 1st, 2024. There's an idea. Instead of asking all these fools to cut their budget, just cut up their credit cards. Yeah. Yeah, that's one way of handling it. So I'm glad Chief Muncie was able to clarify that a lot of these things, once they have the receipts and they approve the purchases, that they're coming out of the budgets that they're presenting, which makes me feel a little better, because we weren't sure whether it was coming out of their budgets or whether it came out of the general fund. But I agree, there's a lot of food purchases that are on there that are pretty high. And I remember Linda was bitching about one that was $40. And on here we've got charges for $100, $150, $80. Needs and wants, seems like they are buying wants. Well, no. They need everything. Remember, we listened to them all the past couple of days with the budget meetings. Everything is something that they need. They need it. And they're all operating on a shoestring. So yeah, listening to Rand Paul going over his annual pork budget is always entertaining and disgusting at the same time. Yeah, that's well, other services and charges. I think. See, there's the question that keeps coming up. They are supported by tax dollars. So he's he's playing semantics whenever he talks about being self-funded. The salaries are paid for by the income coming in. The stuff they're doing, the maintenance and that kind of stuff, that's paid for with money coming in. You know, the typical everyday stuff is paid for by money coming in. But these big projects that they're wanting to do, they're getting grants, they're getting edit money. All of that is taxpayer funded. And they're also getting help from other employees in the city, which means that some of the work being done out there is being funded by taxpayer dollars. So, as I said, he's playing semantics.
You know, not to forget the fact that they also get ARP funds, which is federal tax dollars.
Yes.
You know.
So, I mean, it's semantics is what it is. He's playing semantics.
Absolutely.
See why they use a credit card. You don't know that they're using tax dollars for Jimmy John's or donuts. What exactly is Jimmy John's? I'm sorry.
It's like Subway or
it's a sub restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, it's apparently they like it. Yeah. They apparently like it.
If they had to outright bill the city for it, a check would be being paid out weekly at the Board of Works, right? And instead it just comes up as this is the credit card for this week, the controller. So that's why what's her butt isn't bitching about the Jimmy John's and the donuts and the Papa John's for a lot of these departments, because it's lumped into that credit card payment.
Yes. Well, and I mean, that's
otherwise Linda would be, do we need to be eating sandwiches? Was there alcohol involved?
Yeah.
Sorry, I do a very good Roz impression. I can't. Kristopher does much better.
So
government has no money. They have your money.
Yeah. Well, that's So listen, we could spend another 3 hours going through all of this. I'm gonna get up here to just I'm gonna jump up here into one of the newer ones. Let me get up in here until so right here. Well, let me do this. Let me get up to when did I request? In April?
Well, while you're looking for what you want, I want to ask Chief Muncie something about this comment. When they submit stuff to the SBOA, you know, they have to do the reports and shit like that. Would the SBOA be given like an itemized list for each charge on the credit card? Or do they just get this month's total statement per person? I mean, is that something that they're typically going to just, you know, see? Or is it something that somebody would actually have to send into the SBOA? The State Board of Accounts is SBOA. So that's my question. Is that something somebody would actually have to physically get the receipts, send them into the SBOA as part of a question or complaint? Or would it be something that they would just see in doing a look over of stuff? So hopefully Chief Muncie can answer that question for me, but I'll jump down so you can continue.
That's a good question. Pop up here real quick, Kate, and read that if you can. While I'm looking for one last thing here.
Okay. So thank you, Chief Muncie, for giving us an answer. It says the SBOA only looks at certain things every year, but if the SBOA is notified of these charges, they will look at them when they do their yearly audit. Yeah, I know they come in and they're like, okay, this year we're going to look at the parks and the mayor. and they go through all that and they call it good enough.
Yeah, that's...
Was that read appropriately with the B, U?
Yes. Yes. That's good. That's good. So, you know, I
Did
think
you find
that's...
it?
Who?
Did you find what you were looking for?
No, but I'm good to go.
Okay.
Okay. So anyways, that's that. So okay, just moving on here. we're right now. So this year I requested these files in April of this year. So let's just come up here to, this is May 23, 2024 to June. Okay, ride an hour spent $4,021.44 on okay, so he paid ironic. He paid $2,985.42 to Potawatomi Inn, which is exactly what we found out the cost was tonight via the other record request. He put that on his credit card. Boom, bang, pow. Paid that the end of May into May 23rd through June 24th, 2024. Put that on there. Shell, Amazon, Amazon. So almost everything he got was Amazon. Okay. Steve Selvey, Hall's Gas House, $43. Dustin Clark, $2,681. Walmart Superstore, Amazon Specialty Answering, Gilman Home Center. Wait a minute. Let's go back into the pile here just for a brief second and see during his time on leave if he was using his credit card. Let me ask you this, Chief Muncie. Do you think it would have been appropriate for Dustin to have been using his credit card during his point of suspension? That's what we're getting ready to see right here. Okay. So this is, he was suspended. Clark was suspended on the 18th of April. He was suspended on the 18th. His card, keys, and vehicle should have been relinquished during the suspension. Well, I know that his car was parked at City Hall during that entire time because that's what first started tipping people off to there was a problem. All right. So he was suspended on April 18th or April 19th, one of those dates. That is I would bet the farm on it. So this statement is from April 23rd through May 22nd. So that's when this statement is. Dan, Steve Selvey, Dustin Clark. Nope. No, she's not lover right. She's not lover right. No, lover one, because her she had an email that popped up in there. Dustin Clark. Well, all right. Well, I mean, we'll look at it. We'll look at it through the whole period, because even if we'll look at it through the whole period. Pet supplies, specialty answering, Amazon, Walmart Supercenter on May 13th, Amazon May 17th, to the grand total of $1,096.34 between April 23rd and May 22nd of 2024. Okay, so we'll put that down and we'll go to June. We'll go to June. All right. Here's May 23rd through June 24th. May 23rd through June 24th. Dustin Clark, $2,681.78. Walmart Supercenter, GFS Store, Pet Supply, Amazon, Specialty, Gilman Home Center, Muncie, Indiana, AutoZone, Muncie, Indiana, AutoZone, $12, $18, PetSmart, $18, $56, PetSmart, $15. Oh, Lighthouse Bait and Tackle, $20. Okay, that's at the end of May into the end of June. So, okay, by July, he should have nothing coming out. He should have nothing coming out of it. Nothing.
Christopher, I found the press release. He was suspended on April 19th.
April 19th. Yep, that's what I thought. April 19th. I knew it was 18th or 19th. Oh, no. Oh, Chief Muncie. Now that's tricky. You're right. Well, let me ask you this. So question this, Chief Muncie. We're getting really into the weeds here. Because you know who took his spot at Prairie Creek, don't you? You know who took his spot at Prairie Creek? It was none other than Richard Ivey. So my question is, would Richard Ivey have used his credit card for those expenses? Or would he have used Dustin's during that time? That's a good question. What's up with the purchases at PetSmart? I don't know.
Fish food?
That's comical. I don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe they bought fishies.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
But Ivy has his own card. They may have given Clark's card to the secretary or the foreman. Richard's not buying. We're not saying that Richard's buying them. Look, there's very good. Yeah, Trump shrimp. Trunk, not Trump shrimp. Trunk shrimp. Trunk. As in the back of the trunk where it's all nice and hot. Seafoody. You know. Where it shouldn't be. Dustin always had a couple of expenditures from PetSmart. It wasn't anything too crazy. So we're really going to have to look into this. We're going to have to find out, because that is a really good question. Yeah, I know. Put that Chief Muncie up there. Not a good idea, and I doubt that's what happened. Just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure Clark had the card and was just feeding his dog. Yeah. Me too. I'm trying to think when he came back. When the Green Goblin came back. May, June, July. It was sometime July, August is when he came back. So Nate Sloan, Peloton membership. Nate Sloan, Peloton, 2 Peloton memberships. Walmart Supercenter. Kroger. Wayfair got just what I need. Nate Sloan, Hilton Garden Inn. 1, 2, 3, 4 different expenditures of $615. Amazon, Walmart, Menards, Ring Pro Lite. Okay. $6,355.70. Ooh, for the first month in forever, Daniel Burford's up on the scoreboard. Chief Burford, $440. Dan Ridenauer, July, $300. Amazon, Spirit to Go, Panera Bread. Belinda Munson, Mulligan's Clubhouse, $98. Dustin Clark, July. PetSmart, $15. Walmart, Tire Mobile, Specialty Answering, Sherwin-Williams, Amazon, Dollar General, Amazon, Pet Supplies, $21.12, Amazon, Walmart, $1,622.83.
Clark was reinstated July 11th.
Okay. So those 3 months. Real crazy. Real crazy. Yeah, isn't it funny how the spending went down after my request? And I kept requesting every time I would have to email them, I would push the request out another month. Okay, it's been a month since I've heard from you last. Now I want the credit card statement for next month, for this month too. Except for Nate Sloan here, well, it's not, I mean, it's high, but it's not so high. So for the last month I have, I'll tell you what we've got. This is July 2023 through August 2022. Ridenauer, $372. Belinda Munson's the $93. Dustin Clark's $1,622. Craig Wright is $632. Carl Malone, $224. Donnie Wright, $2,042. Gretchen Cheeseman, $1,772. Nathan Sloan, Indiana Online Services, National Tactical, Amazon, Menards, Evident Tech, Amazon, Peloton, Concannon's Pastry Shop, 26, Walmart, Airlines Tickets, Hilton Garden, Chick-fil-A, 22. All right, can I get one of these cards? No, shit. Sheepdog Mike, $472. Valken Sports, Weldex Corporation, Hilton Garden Inn, Amazon, Walmart, for a grand total of $8,688 for Nathan Sloan. Patricia Goddard's on the board, $279. Joshua Talby's on the board. Dollar General, Highway 3, Viok, Tractor Supply, PetSmart, $51. That makes sense. WhenIWork.com, $45. Not very frequently, Josh. I could tell you that for cheaper. Tractor Supply, $99.95. For a grand total of $685.18. So, no, to my knowledge, 10 Honey Pot, they don't. Welcome. Yep. So, this is just part one. It took me 6 months to get this, and I battled them weekly. I battled them every 2 weeks. I sent them email after email after email, weekly, monthly. Here's what's happening next. The team and I, which includes Kate and Brandon and a couple of other, the Paper Winch and Chief Muncie, if so inclined, we'll look through this and we will make note of what I need to request. And then we will start the long process together of requesting that. Now, this will be an interesting test because when I requested this, it was under Patty Goddard, Miss Frizz. And she's not worth a damn. The HR director, personnel director, Magic School Bus driver, whoever she is, Magic Mushroom Eater, she's no longer in charge of the record request. Oh, yes, I will be doing that. I'll be doing that tomorrow. I will be requesting, well, maybe not tomorrow. I'll be doing it as soon as we go through this. It might take a while, a little bit. It won't take long. We will get on it here soon. I'll let you guys know, obviously. Once I am prepared to send that request out, I will let you guys know. We will send the request out, but it won't go to Goddard. It will go to Amber Green. And so far, Amber's been better, at least on this side of things. I know there's people that got gripes with her about things, whatever. And I'm not too happy with what's going on with the recording of the meetings and whatever the hell's going on the Facebook and with City of Muncie and communications and meetings and not being that's a nonsense. I still say they need to fire Slusher, give it all to her, increase her, take Slusher's $25,000 away, increase her pay a little bit, and let's rock and roll. My belief is that she will be able to get the records a little bit quicker, but it won't. She's just the middleman, as Patty Goddard was. That's the reason I didn't understand why Patty Goddard had such a problem. It will be Craig Wright who will be stalling me on this. The controller will not want to give this up. He will push back. And I can tell you, I will push back against him every bit as hard. So after the team and I go through this, I will let you guys know when we request those records, and we will put them out. And as soon as we get them, we will go through them. Folks, this is not really the fun and exciting part of this. This is like long and drawn out and boring and in the weeds, but this is the most important, because we need to know what they're doing. This is how we keep them on a tight chain. If they know we're going to be looking at this, and they know that, you know, they got to not step out of line. And if they do step out of line, we'll be there to jerk them back in line. Well, yeah, we've definitely had fun tonight. I'm glad you say that, because I love it. I love it. I love it. But I know for a lot of people, it can be a little. Good night, Alva. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a long night. It's been a long couple. It's been a long week. Now, I will tell you, before we wrap this up, we do still have important stuff this week. This generally would be our last show of the night of the week. We would be taking 2 days off. Stay right there, Chief. Just 1 second. Well, I guess you don't need to stay there. Just don't go to bed, because I'm going to get off here and I want to call you if I can, if that would be permissible. I just want to tell you guys this, the ones of you that are not piecing out just yet. Tomorrow is Friday. We will be right here at 5:15 doing the Finance Committee meeting number 3. This is the third and final Finance Committee meeting. On the agenda is the city clerk. That will be the one to watch. That will be the one to watch. And the street department, that'll be interesting. The parks department, okay, that'll be interesting. Prairie Creek Reservoir is scratched off. We've already done that nonsense. And then Beech Grove Cemetery. And then that will be done. That'll be at 5:15 tomorrow. It will be live streamed right here. And then after that, so everyone is aware, this message will go up on the screen. Tune in to episode 295 of the Political Spotlight tonight, which will be tomorrow night at 9 p.m. back to our normal time, 9 p.m. tomorrow, where we will talk about that Finance Committee. Hopefully we will talk about the Board of Works. But the Finance Committee meeting won't be very long, so we'll be able to go through that quick. If the Board of Works is viewable, playable, we will go through that. We'll be able to go through that quick. And I promise, and I did you dirty tonight, E-Jack. I appreciate you being here with us. But since this has taken so long, we're already at 3 hours, we will do the Sproles stuff tomorrow. So I apologize about that. Don't hate me. We will do the Sproles stuff right up front first thing tomorrow. So, and it's not anything real crazy. It's just kind of a retelling, but there's been some citizens that have been hitting on him about the beanbag deal. And so I just want to pull those up and look at that and kind of talk about that. And it never hurts to rehash it. I also got an email today from someone who was very thankful of all of our Sproles coverage. So they've been going back and looking at it, and it's really changed their mind. And it was very cool. So I want to tell you, oh, and I also got a message from the woman who is suing them, who the ACLU is helping her, the lady that had been terrorized in the chair. She was very, very thankful. So tomorrow is Friday. Oh, yeah, tomorrow is Friday. Absolutely, because we have this going on at 5:15, and we'll have to revamp this. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I'm going to be building tomorrow's show as soon as I get off the phone from the chief. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. Thank you all very much for hanging with us. It's been a long show. This has been a lot of information. You can go through and pause any of that and look at any of that. We've learned a lot. We've laughed a lot. We've even cried some. I went and peed a little bit. So it's all been a fun evening. I thank you all for being here. Please take care of yourselves. You'd be surprised how many people in Henry County that have no clue about him. EJAC, that's why it's our responsibility to spread this word, get this show out. We have a full playlist made that you can simply just share that playlist and say, watch this. Oh, yeah, Tennessee Honeypot. Go back and watch. It'll be there. Go back. It's there forever. Go back and watch every bit of this. If you know people in Muncie that care about what's going on in Muncie, this is highly all Muncie related. Go watch it all. We went through, I don't know who you are. I don't know if I know you. If you've been here before, you're a first time viewer. I've never seen your name before. Good name, by the way. But thank you for stopping in. Definitely consider subscribing if you're not subscribed. Hit the bell, do all that shit. Give us a like. We'd appreciate that. You guys take care of yourselves. Love each and every one of you, whether I know you or not. And the ones that hate me, I hate you guys too. That's fantastic. It's love and hate brings the world together. Thank you all very much. God bless each and every one of you. We will see you tomorrow. Good night. Peace. Where at? What are you talking about?
The meeting they have this week, Kristopher.
Oh, yeah. Is the music going? Okay.
I think this one was kind of statewide.
Is the music going?
The who?
The music?
Yes.
I can't play it, so you'll have to hit
I
that,
got
that other thing. Yeah, text me, GW. And tell me who I need to help put you in contact with, unless you guys got that figured out. You know,